Okay, well, welcome to Reality Agriculture on a lovely autumn day in Hawke's Bay in our vineyard with an international agronomist from Australia called Leon Martin. And Leon's going to talk to us. What would like to talk to us about today? You want to talk about grapes?
Anything you like, Andrew?
Okay, well, he's had a big impact on our vineyard here. He's been changing the way we look at fertility in the grapes. And so why don't you talk for a few minutes on what you're trying to achieve with the vineyard here?
Yeah, in the case of Andrew's vineyard, it's a almost like a gimlet stone, a very porous soil type. And so originally we soil tested the site in terms of just determining fertility levels of the soil and looked at what in fact fertility is on offer to the vine.
Yep.
And from there prescribed fertiliser programs appropriately to cover both major elements and minor elements, so through to the trace element sector, with the endeavour of trying to look at improving vine health, yield and grape quality as a result. So it's a point of evolution in management, but in effect it's actually designed to try and lift yield but maintain grape quality and give you, the owner of the vineyard, some options in terms of what you can achieve.
Well, it's certainly been effective this year. We've got away without spraying and without trimming with minimal cost, so it's been a big help for me in the vineyard, and certainly the health of the grapes is fantastic. And when you're in Australia, do you have similar soils to us for your vineyards, or are they very different?
Soil types vary throughout the country like they do through New Zealand, so you know the actual parent medium, if you like, that you're dealing with can vary a lot, and then the history of the site, whether it's been in grass and come into vines or its origin there, determines a lot about the soil type and how well it is off for organic material, fertility, biology.
And the vineyards in Australia have had a huge drought.
Yes, the southeastern part of Australia has had a huge drought, and in certain cases there's been no water on offer, so those vines have been left to die.
They've died?
They've died. There's been no choice, there's been no water and no rainfall, you know, through the period, so the evolution of that particular case is death. Others that have had water or on drip systems and things like that, they've managed to obviously go through, but the yield in that situation has been good, but the overall crop for Australia is down.
So people had to sacrifice some of the lower paying varieties and say we haven't got enough water for the whole vineyard, we'll let those lower paying varieties die.
Well, yeah, in a case where a person has that choice, but in some irrigation systems there was no water delivered to them, so in fact everything in that sector would die, if in fact that was the destiny.
It's had a big impact on the crop out of Australia this year. That'll be down substantially.
I think in terms of tonnage, yes. Backing up on last year's down tonnage, which was a major down, this has been another average crop, or below average in my opinion, in terms of total yield. So in fact it's sort of left Australia moving backwards. The east coast was buying grapes from the west coast and things that sort of created quite a lot of reaction that way.
It's interesting to hear what's happening in other areas in the grape industry. Well,